Welcome to Rosanadu. We're back, baby, in the big 25. Summer 25, here we go. Jay loves to say the big 25, and everything Jay says is really funny, so it's me, Diana. Here we go again. How is it going? Kind of feels like the world's on fire a little bit, and that's kind of something I've avoided for a long time. I think that you guys probably have heard me say this if you are one of my beloveds, my beloved Rosies, or whatever we want to call ourselves. But here at Rosanadu, we pretty much stopped following the news in 2020. And like previously, before then, I was happy to be well informed and like go on Twitter and stay up to date and try my best to care and be a part of it. And like even I like literally guys like loved politics in high school. My mom would like watch C-SPAN for fun. Like it was that type of shit. Like I just say I started oh no, I didn't say this, but I like started a political club in high school called Young Liberals. Shout out to those members of the club. It was a pretty conservative area that I grew up in, and even though it's close to Chicago, I started Young Liberals, and I don't know. I, but anyway, I like always loved politics. All to say, I just always enjoyed current events. And I would even like, I don't know, not like care about celebrity stuff, but like read BuzzFeed out of boredom. And then all of everything happened with Jay that I've talked about previously, like health wise. And that made me realize that I needed to like process that and sort of deal with my mental state more deeply. And that was like at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I was like, well, considering like who's in office and everything like that, like I just well, of course Biden became president then, but it was not that much better, you know. And just kind of all around a drag and like what are we doing here? And yeah, so I don't know. I stopped engaging pretty much and like haven't gone on Twitter since 2020. Literally just like don't watch the news. If it needs to find me, it does. The news finds me somehow still. You know what I mean? And then there's like this year where it's like you can't go on your computer without seeing he who must not be named's face. Personally, I just ignore it still, but I can't help but just like read the headlines if it's literally the first thing you see. And I don't know, you guys. It's literally just a joke. So we're not going to talk about it because I personally do feel like it's a joke. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, and I'm not the first person to say it. And I'm really happy about that because honestly, it is just like a farce. It's clearly just a manipulation to divide and conquer. And so, like, for that reason, I'm out, you know? Sharks. like, personally, I just feel better when I disengage from it. And I feel like I don't know, you guys, like, what is legitimately happening legitimately feels to me like they're making it that the 24-hour news cycle is just like every day is now a new horror. You guys, I just think it's like super see through at this point what is happening, and I'm just like, it definitely is working because it's really dragging everyone down, but I'm just like, I can't deal with it, so I'm not going to engage, and I'm personally rising above, but it is taking energy to do so because it's so thrown in your face. And I'm really happy that like I'm choosing to rise above because obviously it's just the same as in 2020. It's just like I'm just not gonna be fearful because there's enough to fear already as like my circumstances are already. It's like, so I can't add on to that, like, the world's problems. Or not the world's problems, actually, but like the illusion of, well, I don't mean to say the illusion, I guess like the illusion of like these people having power over me and the fact that like they're stripping us of a lot of what we had going for us in the first place. So I don't have much more to say about it because like it's such a raw and fraught subject and it's a drag. But I just kind of wanted to say, like, if you're feeling it too, like that it's just sort of a drag right now, like this podcast is for you because I just feel like we need to talk about things that we love, and it's like that's sort of, I guess, what I'm getting at. It's like all that is noise. The headlines, the news itself, whatever's happening, it is literally just noise. Just like everything, you're just like tuning in your radio to different stations, and it's like that's like the biggest station, the most popular station that everyone listens to. But it's like you can tune to over to other stations and listen to whatever you want. And that's what I'm sort of saying is like it's all noise, so I'm gonna tune into some better noise and just enjoy myself and like cultivate positivity in my own life and cultivate like being the best person I can be to like help in any way I can that way. Because like if I just like take on every day like what is being thrown at us, like oh my god, literally going to get nowhere. And beyond that, I just feel like the internet is like destroying our brains and that it's all just very tied together because now whatever's happening in the freaking news cycle is happening in comedy reels and whatever the fuck. Like in whatever, what is it we're calling it? In content? We're just like saying in posts. I don't know. I'm really sick of it. And I love the people I follow to death and I love laughing. But I'm also just like, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, even that is sort of like becoming not worth it. You know what I mean? I'm like, do I really need this? Do I need automatic videos playing? Like, do I? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, can I just. I swear to God, it's like the only apps that are safe anymore is like the podcast app because you don't scroll on there and videos don't play automatically. At least not the way I use it. And like games. Like I play like logic games. I'm trying to think of other apps that are safe besides Safari. I don't know, you guys. It's good to talk about it, and I'm sure that I'm not the only person sort of feeling like frustrated with how much of like a soul suck the world is right now, like as far as the external. And internally, we're doing wonderfully, and everything's great. Uh, and so externally, things are really great too. It's summer, going to the beach, getting a tan, having lots of fun, and realizing that, like, well, I mean, this year has just, like, really been a drag. There's been a lot of things in my life that have happened, like just losing family members and having, like, other people be sick and just a lot of shifting and sort of, I don't want to say chaos, but a lot to navigate through. So, and now I guess I'm sort of on the other side and a little bewildered and exhausted. In fact, I just woke up from a nap and it's 11 p.m. So uh, that's kind of. I don't really nap, but I was very tired, so I did nap. I don't nap because I know that I'm going to feel groggy and I hate feeling groggy. And now Jay is 13, And I'm laughing because he just like, he fell asleep. He's napped sometimes lately because he's 13 and he's growing like a weed. And yes, he is taller than me now by like, I don't even know, you guys. At least I'm pretty tall too. So he's tall. He's almost like 2 inches taller than me. It's pretty crazy. So he took a nap the other day, like by accident, and he woke up and he was like, "That was the worst feeling like of my whole life. Like I hated this so much." And he had a crazy dream. And I was like, "I know, but you're gonna need these naps, so get used to it." But I will say, for some reason, here where we live now, when I nap, I don't have as crazy of dreams as I do at night, and I don't wake up quite as groggy as I did in our old house, which I don't know. Maybe there was like mold in my room there or something. That's the house Rosanadu was founded in. Just had a sip of Coca Cola, which is a shocking revelation, probably, because I definitely gave that up in middle school. I gave up all dark sodas, and I pretty much gave up Sprite then too. But then I had a headache a few weeks ago, but I didn't want to just like take a nap because I mean I could tell it was turning into a migraine. I let Jay convince me to go to McDonald's and get a Coke, and it actually did help. And ever since then, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a couple Cokes since then, so including tonight because I just was like, I'm either gonna go back to sleep or I'm gonna need a tiny bit of caffeine. And I refuse to drink coffee because I think coffee makes me feel really, really crazy. Also gave that up in 2020 in the big 2-0. Well, I've watched a lot of things since April. I'm trying to think back. I genuinely feel like it's been 4 years since April. Does anyone else feel like that? I hope not. Is anyone watching the new season of And Just Like That? I have. And it's actually really good, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. They've finally found their stride. And it's not that cringe. It is definitely cringe, like fully, basically 100%. But I just mean it kind of feels like the original show of Sex and the City. And it also kind of feels better than that because it's not so formulaic. And honestly, it's pretty much just about the friendships. And I mean, I've seen Sex and the City personally, like probably 20 times. I think it came out in 2000 or 2001, and I probably was too young for it then, but then I would like, watched it in high school. And I mean, come on, it's Sex and the City, and it's iconic. And it is like super cringe and super annoying, but it's also just like anything shot in New York, I'm gonna love pretty much, first of all. And there's so few shows about women that you gotta kind of just take what you can get. And for the time and for what it is, like it's pretty good. That was water, not Coke. Just so we know. Finding that balance. And with coffee, like I would always drink like maybe 4 ounces of whatever drink. And I still am like that. I'm looking at my Coke and I've had like 12 sips. Guys, humble brag. I'm just trying to make myself feel better because I know Coke is terrible for you. Yeah, and just like that, honestly loving it, obsessed with Carrie's new apartment. The fashion hovers between fabulous and appalling, and it's always just a joy to be with characters that you love. Jay and I watched, well, Jay convinced me to do a Scream marathon, and we watched the first three over like a week and a half. And even though I enjoy it so much, I have like a very special place in my heart for Scream. And I didn't see it until college, and then I got to see it My mom like wouldn't let my brother or I see Scream. I'm sure that he saw it at a friend's house early, but I remember him like not being allowed to see it in theaters for sure. But we were very young at the time. And then I didn't see it till college, and I got to see it in a theater in college for the first time. And the theater was almost empty because it was just for a class. And I don't know, it was just like a wonderful, magical experience that I'll pretty much never forget, I'm sure, at this point. That's just weirdly one of like my comfort movies that I definitely watch at least once a year. And Jay has seen Scream before. I hover between like being overprotective about what he sees or maybe just like protective and normal because I don't want him to be like overexposed to violence, obviously, and I don't want him to become desensitized. But as he grows up, I have to like adjust and meet him where he's at a little bit too, and because because of several reasons. And honestly, I think that it's good to watch things like Scream because it's like goofy and satirical, and so it can show him a different side of horror in that way and like a different side of like what the purpose of the violence in the movie is, and that can be something we talk about and can help with like him not becoming desensitized because he's realizing what he's watching is a movie. And I don't know, these things are important to me because it's like I am raising a young man. I want him to get his like get things out healthily, like play a little Call of Duty, and but not play it forever and not like I don't know, find a balance, you know. And same with the horror movies. Anyway, we watched the first three, and I kind of realized why my mom didn't want my brother or I watching stuff like that, like at Jay's age. So you live and you learn, and you know, I'm sure that we'll watch the fourth one soon anyway. But I do love those movies so much, and the third one was like almost more comforting than the first one. And that might be because it was kind of more tame, but yeah, just being in like a cozy, thrillery world, right? There's kind of nothing better in a way when it comes to movie watching. So let's see. I've definitely taken down a number of like foreign, mostly European Netflix thrillers, and they definitely vary. And one of them was so bad that Jay and I reference it often because it's like the worst movie I've ever seen. It's like the first movie I've ever like I shouted WTF like at a certain point. But I mean, yeah. See, like I do let him watch things, but it's like if it sort of has merit in a way. You know what I mean? Like I watched Us with him, and I mean he also sets the tone. It's like he says if it's too scary, and he doesn't say it's too scary when I ask. He says he can handle it. So, and I mean he makes it clear that he can easily handle it, and he's a man, and like he's not affected, and everything. And I'm just like, well, there is reason for me to still override that, but I don't know. You have to let them live, is what I'm finding. And I think that horror is one of the smarter genres, and it like lets us talk about really cool, smart things. And I like don't really see a problem with that. If I mean he's not watching like Saw or like The Hills Have Eyes, and if he did want to watch like The Ring or something, I would be like, you're a little too young for that. You're gonna wait a couple more years. And he's always fine with that when that is the case. Like we pretty much watch things when it's appropriate. And like to him, The Shining is a thriller. And I'm like, to me it's a horror. And he's like, well, you're a baby. So I mean like he's always liked sort of spooky things. Like when he was 5 and not five, but six and seven, he was sort of obsessed with like mythical creatures like Slender Man and the Rake and haunted shit like that. Well, yeah, it's good to be back. I genuinely love doing this podcast. Fills my heart with so much joy. Did we talk about seeing Pride and Prejudice in theaters? I forget. That came back for the 20th anniversary. That was so magical. Jay and I saw it in theaters and loved every second. Couldn't have been more fun. I think we brought Burger King into the theater. That made it even better. I feel like I still need to talk about Wicked, you guys. But I haven't watched it. Like, I have not rewatched it, which is kind of shocking. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, I know I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna get real invested. I'm gonna just sit there watching the movie. And it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I don't know. So I haven't rewatched Wicked, but we're both excited. Jay and I are super excited for November. Guys, Now You See Me 3 is coming out. Have you seen the Now You See Me movies? I kind of don't like the phrase guilty pleasure, but I honestly, the Now You See Me movies are my guilty pleasure. Like, or they're one thing I think that I'm like, I know they're so nerdy, and like, how are they even movies? The fact, like, just based on like who's in them and what they're about, like, truly love them. All right, so we got that coming out in November. Now You See Me 3, Stranger Things, and Wicked. Anyway, we're super excited for November. It's already the best month. So yeah, just trying to keep my eye on the prize. The prize being like happiness and joy. So anything that brings me happiness and joy is getting pushed to the front right now so that I can harness those good feelings. And recording Rosanadu and hanging out with y'all makes me so happy, y'all. Oh, yeah, we just started Fried Green Tomatoes. That's a movie that I fully probably watched like multiple times a year as a growing up because my mom loved it so much. It's a really good movie. It is very emotional and intense, but also uh, it has like an emotional, intense story, but it has like such a vibe. It's such like a summery, naturey vibe. It takes place maybe like in the 20s or like, gosh, 1910s. Fried Green Tomatoes. I am dying to know if you guys have seen it. It is a 90s movie. Mary Louise Parker, several other people who I just can't think of, but uh, fabulous score. One of the best scores I think like of any movie ever, probably. It's got to be, gosh, what's his name? I forget, but it's a goated movie, y'all. Definitely wanted to show it to Jay, so I put it on the other night, but we only got halfway through. And of course, at the most traumatic scene, he was like, "Oh, I've seen this with Meme." Yep, definitely seen this with Meme. uh, but definitely worth the watch. It's got like a little bit of a murder mystery vibe and a lesbian vibe too. I don't know. It's a good one. It is. Oh, it's got Kathy Bates. Um, it's like she's in the 80s or the 90s in the present, and then it's going back to like the 1920 or something. It's a really good movie. I don't know. I just did a terrible job of describing it. Worth it? Just even look it up and even just look it up and see. That one, and then I really need to watch Karina because that's a real summer movie too. That's another movie that literally all the time growing up. Ray Liotta, Whoopi Goldberg, and either the girl who played Matilda or another girl who looks just like her. But it's no, I'm pretty sure it's Matilda, just younger. It's just the best movie ever. 1950s. Ray Liotta's wife dies, and he hires Whoopi Goldberg as the nanny, and it's Just unreal how good it is. If you have not seen it, literally run to see it. What else? Well, just been dancing and utilizing the Rosanadu playlist to fill my heart and process all the emotions and all the things. And I would love to talk about that. I don't know. I want to go like song by song and just like talk about it. All right, we lost power for a second there. So I guess like it just like it feels weird to talk about a song specifically, doesn't it? It's like when do we do that? Unless we're just like talking to a friend. But I like genuinely want to talk about the songs on the Rosanadu playlist because they make me so happy. They make me feel so alive. And I just feel like a lot of things make me feel alive, right? It's like getting up in the morning. Whatever. But I'm just saying like makes me feel like myself and like I am like feeling alive in like a beautiful way. And feeling alive in like the sense that there's like vibrancy in the world. Like stopping to smell the roses, if you will, seeing a rainbow, all of these type of things. I'm actually looking at a rainbow right now. My guitar strap, my bass strap is a rainbow. Should we try talking about a song specifically? I'm going to talk about. All right, so I feel like Jay asked me what my favorite song is the other day, I think yesterday, and I said 14th Street by Rufus Wainwright. And that is the latest song to hit the RX playlist. I've definitely loved this song for like 20 years, probably almost. No, I probably discovered it when I was like 19 or 20, actually. No, I was probably like 18. Rufus Wainwright is very well known for Hallelujah, and that is an amazing song. But he literally it does not even come close, like at all in the slightest, to his songwriting and his what he does with his voice and stuff. Like one of the most magical artists that like I know of to this day. I'm pretty sure that I knew a couple of his songs in high school, like Poses and stuff from that album. And I guess he was like making music when I was in high school. And then so some of those albums didn't come out until I was a little older. But yeah, I'm like thinking back to when I like absolutely fell in love with him. It was probably when I lived in Chicago, so like 1920, and then those years. It's irrelevant to anyone but me, but I just am thinking how long I've loved him and how long I've loved this song. And I genuinely feel like this song has like for real been there for me. Like it is like the song that I put on when I like for real need to get in touch with my emotions, like without a doubt. Like I know it'll make me cry. And it'll make me cry at like any of like six different points basically. And I think it's probably I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've listened to his whole like discography, and I definitely have like my favorite like half dozen to a dozen songs of his that are in heavy rotation. But I'm just saying, to me, this is like the pinnacle of like pretty much songwriting in general, and maybe for him too. But he is like for real a genius, and I'm pretty sure he even I don't know, you guys, like he's just incredible. I'm pretty sure he wrote an opera for the Metropolitan Opera House. Like that might have been the late one of the latest things he's done. You guys, fully a genius, fully obsessed. This song to me is like I don't even know. When I think of it, like I genuinely think of like rainbows and butterflies and just being wrapped in like the most beautiful things that like the world offers basically. Even though it's kind of an intense and cathartic and sad song, like in a little bit of a way, because they're of the line that they're just repeating throughout the whole song. But it's really just like the way the sweeping way in which Rufus Wainwright writes his music, where it's so just like sweeping is like the word that's coming to mind. Like carrying you along on just the most gorgeous journey, like fully possible, is what this song is to me. And it tells such a beautiful story that is so relatable. Like it's really about like his uncle, but I mean the lyrics being what they are, I think they could make anyone feel something. And just the way that the song builds and then comes to such an incredible crescendo, such an incredible moment, and then continues on to be almost even more beautiful than the previous 4 minutes is like kind of insane to me still after, like I said, like 18 years of loving this. I like literally still love it that much, and I've probably listened to it like 7 times in the last few days just because I've really needed it and have been wanting to record. And I honestly just, I wish we could just listen to it together the whole way through because it's my favorite song. And sometimes I listen to it without crying. Like, I don't always just put it on to cry, I just love it. So, and I like to like let my emotions out and just be whatever it is. So I just put it on knowing it might make me cry, and I don't care if I cry or not. I don't know. I just kind of can't express how much I've gotten out of the song. It's like almost now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, I'm like, I'm literally insane. But this is just how much I love music and it really helps me process and reminds me, like I said, like this song not only helps me process, but also just reminds me of like how beautiful life can be and how beautiful just like to be receptive to that kind of beauty makes me feel beautiful because it's like I'm like hearing this and it's like the most beautiful thing I could even ever comprehend being offered to me, like, and yet there's more where that came from and there's more beautiful songs to listen to after this and I can listen to it again. Like it just puts me in a really good headspace to be like, there is beauty in the world. There are people in the world who make really put all of their everything into one 5 minute song. And it's amazing to me. Like, I genuinely feel gratitude for it. And just makes me feel grateful for music in general. And in turn, life. Like, that is 14th Street by Rufus Wainwright from the album Want One. So listen to it if you want to have your mind explode. And tell me what you think. I bet you're going to love it. And I think that there's at least one other Rufus Wainwright song on the playlist. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. So there's that. That's one song down on the Rosanadu playlist. Alright, fam. I do want to talk about more songs so badly. I'll say that's like a good intro that's like super intense and upbeat and like uplifting and like you know what I mean. Like it's that type of song on the Rosanadu playlist. And then there's like I just feel like every song on the RX playlist is going to be like a true banger. So it's going to fulfill that like making you feel super. It achieves for me making me feel like I'm really alive in a happy way, putting me in the place I want to be and enjoying, like, you know what I mean? It's like I don't give a shit if it's pop or whatever. It's just like, does it make me feel something? Does it make me feel like myself? And so that's how we got to 6 hours on the playlist, okay? And I would say a lot of the songs are like 14th Street in that they have like many parts, and a lot of them like this is just like how I like my songs. I like my songs like intense and long, if possible, and like jammy. And I mean, that's why I love 14th Street is because they're just like repeating a beautiful lyric, beautiful melody with the most beautiful voices and the most beautiful instrumentals, and you get to just listen to that for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that on the Rosanadu playlist, which I think is great because then you can be like, I am listening to this and it is helping. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I'm sure if I keep talking about this subject, like keep talking about songs, maybe I'll be more articulate about it in the future. But it's a feeling that I'm trying to describe, and that can be hard. Another song that I've been super obsessed with on there that's like a little more low key but achieves the same effect and is definitely jammy in like an orchestral way is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy Rich Man Poor Man Beggar Man Thief. Is that what it's called? By Radiohead. Uh, and that's a song from an album, and it's a song itself that I like. I mean, I loved that album, of course, when it came out, but it sort of had to grow on me, and so did that song. But now I'm like, this song is one of their best, and therefore one of the best. Yeah, that song is incredible. Maybe I don't need to get quite as into it because it kind of, like I said, it's like a more low key vibe of the same vibe as 14th Street. That's it. Listen to them, or listen to another song on there, or submit your own song to me that you think fits the bill, and maybe I'll add it to the playlist because I always want new music. So give me your recs. I hope everyone's having an amazing chill summer that is bringing them joy in whatever way suits you best. You're sipping on cocktails, you're jet skiing, you're golfing, you're barbecuing, hanging out, watching movies, avoiding the outdoors, staying in the air conditioning, whatever it is, I hope that it's wonderful and there's still a long ways to go too at this moment. But maybe you're listening on Christmas. So Merry Christmas if that's the case. Alright, thank you so much for listening. So good to be back. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next time on Rosanadu.